Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And this week, a bit of a bittersweet episode on Resident Alien. Uh, we open up 443 years ago, where we hear the story of the Utes, who were the native population in Utah. That's where we get the name Utah. Anyway, uh, and we learn the story of how they were visited by the Star People, and they left a symbol, a white painted hand, that they come down to share their technology and knowledge with the natives, and they gave a promise that they would return one day. And then we jump to the present, where the foster mother, who is Asta's cousin, and also works with Kate on several things. She's a lawyer. Reading this story in a comic book form to the little baby Daisy. Next, we're at Harry's cabin, where we learn that without his alien knowledge, he's not as good a doctor as he used to be. Anyways, they've called in Dale, who you may remember from last season controls the portals, to help Harry get to the 1970, where he can get the alien device, which we know from last week had already been picked up by the General. That's where she ended up in the portal. Meanwhile, during this, Darcy and Asta argue, and Harry agrees to let Darcy go along with him. Now, meanwhile, over at the school, Max and Asta have started up the Alien Tracker Club, although Max wants to have them help him track the alien, and Sahara's more interested in passing out the insecticide she developed for the mantis to keep them all safe. Harry and Asta make it to 1970, where they run into the General. And she's working at a lobster shack on the beach, and is become best friends with her father, although he doesn't know he's her father because she's about his age, if not older. He's an older woman. And Harry wants the device, and she says, "No, I need it to save my father. He slowly died because the government came in and said he hadn't seen anything, and he believed he was crazy for the rest of his life. And I'm going to stop that by showing it to him after the FBI shows up." Well, meanwhile, Darcy tries to find it in her purse. They thought she'd put it in her purse down at the beach, and Darcy can't find it. Now, the General demands to know why Harry wants the device, and he explains about his condition where he's all human now, but if he trades it to the Greys, they can give him back his alienness. Well, what will they do? Well, they'll destroy his entire planet, but it sounds worse than it is. Anyways, Darcy can't find it, so she and Harry break into her car, and they grab up a bag, which they saw her put the device in. Meanwhile, back in the present, we learned that Kate went to the doctor and had the alien implant removed, telling the doctor she'd had a car accident as a kid. That's what she's always believed anyways. Everybody in town knows she had a car accident as a kid. And she thinks it's a piece of glass that must have got embedded in there, and it's really irritating her now, and so he removes it. Can't be tracked anymore. Ha ha! Also, she then calls Asta's cousin, telling her that she'll get the plans to her as soon as she can. She's had some things come up. Now, this is on the woman's phone that she had on speaker, and she sees the baby react to Kate's voice. Interesting. She shows the baby a picture of Kate. Baby laughs. She shows her a picture of someone else. Baby cries. She shows her Kate. Baby laughs. So, she goes to see Asta. And the thing about Asta's cousin is Asta can't lie to her. She has this look. And when she gives it to Asta, Asta spills everything, and she does. And so Asta's cousin, she understands, and she will keep it secret for now. There's a funny bit where she says, there's also an alien that lives in town. Harry? You already knew? No, but it could either be him or Kurt over at the video store. It was a toss-up. Anyways. Hi. Meanwhile, Harry and Darcy go to the portal where they find they were tricked. Harry's carrying a rock. And the general goes to see her father and shows him the device. And he says that could be anything. It could be a piece that fell off of a plane. He doesn't know anything about technology. And after talking with him, she realizes she's done nothing to help him. She might have even made it worse. Meanwhile, at the comic book shop, Sahar is trying to find something Bridget wants to read. Max stops by and he swipes Bridget. So Sahar goes to see Asta and tells him, so they head out into the woods because they realize Max is going to use Bridget to take out the Mantid. Now, over in the police station, Agent, what is her name? Gardner has arrived from the FBI to look into the serial killer case. She's profiled it to be a serial killer. You know, the headless guy they found at the bed and breakfast. Guess who it is? It's Jewel State, everyone's favorite spaceship mechanic from Firefly. Anyways, here, Mike, trying to impress her, says he's starting a a self-defense course. Ben's like, I don't know, we had the budget for that. Don't worry, note it for free. Going to turn everybody in this town into a fighting machine. Whole town will be a weapon. Well, that's news to Liz, but okay. Before they teach, they go out into the woods, do reconnoitering, trying to find this killer. And while Liv is behind a tree taking care of some business, Mike sees the Mantid eating a deer. The Mantid's backing off from people, Every time you bite a few human heads off, the police show up and it just makes a problem. So he's switched to venison for the moment. He spots Mike and runs away. Mike tells Liv, and Liv gets very upset. The Mantid is one of the rarest of aliens to be spotted. Everybody spots an alien but her. She has the worst luck. Well, Harry and Darcy, they go to the Lightkeeper's house. That's the General's father. Trying to formulate a plan to get in and get the device when the General comes out, tells them they don't have to have any plan, and she hands the device over to Harry. She failed. The whole reason she came here was originally to make friends with her father, get to know him, because he withdrew after the whole FBI incident. And she wanted to forgive her younger self for not helping him. She never told him she saw it too. Well, Harry's fine. He heads off back, but Darcy talks to the General, wants her to come back with him. No, she wants to stay here. Try to help her father best she can. And Darcy gives a little pep talk about what is it is she really here for her father or for her younger self? So, in return for that, the General tells Darcy what exactly Harry is planning to do with the device and what the consequences of that will be. Then she goes back into the house and talks to her younger self. She's a family friend. And says she knows she saw the ship too, but she was afraid to tell her father because her father might not believe her, but he will. And her father's going through a tough time, and truth will always make things better. And with this pep talk, the girl goes in and tells her father she saw him and she believes him, and they hug and they cry. And then the three of them sit down for a rousing game of cards. I think it might be Uno, I'm not sure. Was Uno back in the 70s? Well, it doesn't matter. Cards. Meanwhile, back at the portal, Harry is confronted by Darcy. And they have a long talk. They both are suffering loss. Darcy's skiing career from her accident, and Harry missing his alienness. Darcy, being the wonderful reasoner she is, convinces Harry he can't destroy all his people to get back his alienness, because then he would be truly alone. So he tosses it back into the ocean. Wonder if that'll come back on them. Who knows? Meanwhile, out in the woods, Max finds the Mantid who attacks him, but it turns out it's Bridget in disguise. But Bridget's really no match for him still, and he throws Bridget away, grabs Max, and he's going to eat Max when something attacks him. Who is it? It's Heather, the bird alien that's in love with Harry. And they've, done it many times. Anyways, she eats the Mantid because bird, insect. And that's how Darcy and Sahara come upon them. And we're just like, and Heather's like, oh, hi guys, you seen Harry? Meanwhile, at the self-defense course, Mike's not doing too bad a job. He's having everybody come up and he's showing them different striking techniques and stuff. And when Kate comes up, he decides to show how to come up from behind and get out of an attack that way. But when he grabs her around the neck, she has a memory of the aliens roping her during abductions and flips out. Ben comforts her, but Liv, she's starting to get suspicious about Kate and Ben. What's the whole thing with Joseph that Ben was trying to tell her? Could it be Kate is also someone who's been abducted? Later, they go to the diner where they run into Darcy, and Kate has another buried memory surface. She and Darcy were together going after her baby on the moon base, and she flees the diner, telling Ben Darcy was there. And Harry, who's having to pour out milk because his human form is lactose intolerant now, probably because it's based around the body of the guy he's impersonated. When Heather shows up and shows him the bundle of joys she has with their brood they made together. Half avian, half octopi-ish, because I think that's what Harry's based around. Don't think they're going to have as much familial bliss as they would have had if Harry's wasn't still all human now. Like I said, a little bittersweet, but we are now set up to get into some very different things, especially aftermath of that device going back into the ocean. And now that the Mantid's dead, it still leaves, all those Greys up on the moon. They're still looking for the baby they took. But, nice way to tie up the whole Mantid thing. I like Heather coming up out of nowhere and just, a very dulcis macana moment that actually works. It is hilarious. Yeah, looking forward to see next week when Heather finds out Harry's no longer the Harry she knew. Such a soap opera. And what does this mean for Darcy and Kate? Well, till next time, please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you then.